Hello, good morning, and welcome to this airwaves once again this morning. Today is a special edition where we'll talk about sports on ACNNTV. And we're reaching you live here from our studio in the capital city of Abuja. We're here to talk about a few of the happenings in the world of sports. Just a few hours ago, the second phase of matches for the match day 3 of the UEFA Champions League left us with a whole lot of stunning actions and what have you. And before then, the day before, we had a chunk of goals from a lot of matches, at about 43 of them from Tuesday and almost 20 of them from yesterday. And today we'll be looking at what's happening in the world of sports across UEFA Champions League. Which of the matches best caught your fancy? Which did you enjoy more, and what have you? And after that, we'll look at some of the news cutting across other sporting activities, from CAF to wrestling to rugby, and then we'll come back and look at the activities lined up for this weekend on the various European leagues. I am your anchor this morning, Chukwebuka, and I will not be doing this analysis alone this morning. I have some people or guests here in the studio to discuss sports with me this morning, and I have Clinton Christopher here as our guest this morning. He is a sports journalist with the exclusive newspaper. Clinton, good morning and welcome to Now Streaming Sports. All right, thank you, Clinton. Also, we have beside Clinton, we have Mr. Raphael Ojaokomo. Mr. Raphael Ojaokomo is a social and sports commentator. Raphael, good morning and welcome to this segment of the show.
It's good to be here again.
All right, thank you so much. Viewers, we have all the way from Delta State joining us virtually, Comrade Abraham Suku, who is a sports analyst. Comrade, good morning and welcome to the show again this morning.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Ebuka. I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, gentlemen, for being on the show this morning. Before we take all the stories we have lined up for this morning, let's take a look at the front page of the Punch Sports Extra. But viewers, do not forget that you can also be part of the show by equally sending in your comments via various social media handles or calling the number showing on your screen to share your views on what we are discussing today. And let's take a look at the Punch Sports Extra. The front page there has the list story as Titans. It says the kicker says Osimhen grabs UEFA Champions League brace, stakes claim for CAF Potty Player of the Year award. All right, the next kicker says Gala striker battles Salah Hakimi for best player gong. And lastly, the Nwabali Bameyi nominated for keeper and young player awards. All right, that's on page 6 of the Punch Sports Extra. All right, the next there beside the masthead is have the story on phenomenal. Ateta praises Victor Gyökeres. That's on page 5 of the Punch Sports Extra. Page 5 also has a story on Liverpool eyes Semeyo. Page 4 has a story on Ronaldo deserves proper United goodbye. That's coming from McCarthy. All right, just below that we have the story on page 3. It says Spain boss continues Yamal war of words. That's right. Just above the masthead we have the story on Joshua Milwithon 2025, and that's coming from Herald. Here it's on the page 2 of the Punch Extra. Page 7 has the story on Net's first Super League Liga goal in Besiktas win. All right, and just beside that we have the UEFA Champions League's results from yesterday. We have them listed out there. Page 8 has a story on Turkish champions win back-to-back UEFA Champions League games. That's on page 8. And lastly, beside the masthead, we have Lisby contracts contact Brentford for Frederick. That's on page 6. All right, straight ahead to the bottom of the newspaper, we have the Okoli Adeleye to headline chokes in the rings, and that's on page 2. Finally, on page 2, Adesanya drops out of UFC top 5. All right, that's the headlines on the Punch Sports Extra. But before we begin to talk about the Champions League and what have you, let's look a little bit into the world of the under 20 World Cup that just concluded a couple of days ago, with Morocco being crowned the champions. They stunted as Argentina with a 2-0 victory in the final of the under 20 World Cup in Chile. So let me hear from you, my guest here in the studio. I want to know, we talked about the performances of our own Flying Eagles at the 2025 Chile, on the 20 World Cup Chile 2025, and now we see, and that's, I think, at that last edition we were hoping that Morocco will win the under 20 World Cup, and now they are the winners. What do you have to say, Mr. Raphael Ojo?
It goes to show that things are working down there in Morocco. I don't want to, if I talk now, Morocco will say I'm attacking my country or maybe speaking down on the country, but that's not even the case. Look at Morocco now. The Africa's best team representation at the Senior World Cup, Morocco. The WAFCON that Nigeria won, Super Falcons, we played Morocco at the final. This same Morocco was the team that stopped the Falcons, the last one, before we now came and won this one. Go to the under 17, you see that who is hosting the under 17 World Cup, female World Cup? Morocco. Who won the Chan what's it called, Nations Cup? Same Morocco. So it appears that they are doing something that is working, which, if you ask me, I will beg our FA to go and copy. I'm not saying go and learn. There's no learning there. Go and copy and replicate. Yes, it's the honest truth. There was a time 2 years ago thereabout, I was Senegal. Senegal won the main Nations Cup, won the under 20 Nations Cup, under 17, even the Chan. At a point, Senegal's national team included players from all these teams. This is how you build a team. This is how you build a football federation. Now, as I speak to you, our under 17 ladies just lost again to France. Under 20, I went to the same World Cup with Morocco, disgraced out of the tournament. Super Eagles, we had to use calculator to push them into the knockout stage for whatever. We now get to a point where even the Super Eagles as it is now, we don't have a succession plan for the Super Eagles, which means nobody is coming from under 17 or under 20 or 23 to the Super Eagles because we don't have anybody. And that's one thing about age grade football. The moment you don't make it at that level, you're forgotten. If I ask my brother here now, ask you now, we don't even know the names of the guys in under 17. Maybe under 20, because we just finished playing, we might know one or two players. Give us maybe 5-6 months. Boom. We don't remember them again. Unlike the cases of the Henachos, Chikwueze, Osimhen, Mikel Obi and the likes, because they won something and they represented the country at the highest level. Do you understand me? So that is what is happening for Morocco at the moment. At some point in time, when Nigeria plays Morocco female team, it's 8-0, 6-0. We had to come from 2-0 down to beat them at the final. That's to tell you that they have done something that is working for them. The next Nations Cup now will be hosted by who? Morocco. Who was the first team to qualify in Africa for the World Cup? Morocco. And they did that without losing a game and conceding a goal. That's to tell you that they have a structure that is working for them, and they do, and that's why we need to, first and foremost, congratulations to them. I think that I should have said that from the word go. Congratulations to Morocco. They're the second African team now to win an under 20 World Cup. First was Ghana. Nigeria have tried twice, 1989 and 2005. And of course, we have one now in Morocco. And they have one of the best players of the tournaments from Morocco. So, my pleas, I hope our FA is watching. They should just go there. Like I said, not learn. Copy.
All right. So, Clinton, do you think the same? Do you think we should emulate what is happening in Morocco in terms of sporting activities? Because even looking at their sporting facilities there in Morocco, it's top class compared to Nigeria. What do you think?
For me, if I'm to say anything concerning this Moroccan, let me just range from their league. Like, if you check if you come in Africa, Moroccan have been a country that have developed, ranging from their top official down to their, the least person. These people have what they have what it cost for football. From normally from the league. So now if you're talking about the national team itself, we know that they have a very good and formidable players, around there in Europe. Okay, so now this I believe that
if we put, sorry to cut you, Mr. Clinton, if we put Nigeria's Super Eagles players side by side Morocco in terms of where they play, do you think the Morocco can stand any chance?
I can, if I'm to say, I just grade them 50-50. You know why?
Okay.
So why did I say I will grade them 50-50? Because if you talk about players, Nigeria have players.
Okay.
But the problem is that they don't know the need, to get all those players. Unlike Frederick, nobody know the guy. Okay, nobody know the defender. From nowhere they picked him, put him there, and the guy did something. Okay, so now if I thought maybe if Nigeria have such eyes, to go to gather these players, they're supposed to do more than this. Because I spoke with one journalist, there in the Uyo. I called the guy. I was asking him, what do you see in this game? He said Nigeria did wonders, to his eye, because the last game I watched in that Gospel Ababio Stadium was the game Nigeria against Zimbabwe. They play 1-1. Immediately Zimbabwe scored that goal, I stood up and left, to be frank with you, because I was so annoyed that is it not in Nigeria we know, like 4-5 seasons, that if we meet this kind of team, we beat them 6-0. There's no comparison, because we know that Nigeria have what it takes to win. Okay, so from my point of view, I found out that if I thought, as my brother said, we copy.
No learning.
So it's not about learning, because that we know the system, but just the truth, we cannot say it for ourselves. So let us cut it there. So.
All right, comrade, let me come to you. When we were in school, they were usually being punished for copying, when you copy an assignment or you copy in the exam hall. And now we're pointing to Nigerian FA to go and copy what's happening in Morocco. Are you also in support of us copying? Copying, is it good enough?
I think copying is good enough when you copy.
I love that.
And, first of, congratulations to Morocco. They are on a very good trajectory when it comes to African football. Mr. Raphael has been able to extol all their achievements, all their qualities. But me, I will not agree with Mr. Raphael. We don't usually fight a lot in this post section, but we're going to fight now. Is that it is very, very difficult for you to blame the government when it comes to sports administration in your country. You can only blame the government when you are not getting enough allocation. Having said that, I would want to say that our football federations is meant to run independently. If the government is even perceived to intervene, we will get the ban. So what I'm not trying to say is that the fact that our federations are not doing well, it has nothing to do with the government. Because as far as I am concerned, I've said it on this show before, our budget for sports in 2025 is I think it's 96 billion naira. And we also how we performed woefully in our Tokyo games, in our athletics. Now we're coming to football. The under 17 women football that is being held right now, we have lost the 3 games. I think against Canada. the US. It was only 4 goals to 1.
4-1.
We were demolished. So what I would say is that the fact that our federation is not doing well, they need to actually do a self-reflection and see what's really actually happening, because our age grade football is something that we have always is something that I've actually given a ray of hope to us, because in 2005, as you rightly mentioned, we performed against Argentina. We also saw how Mikel Obi was able to emerge, Taiwan and all that, but we're not seeing same performance right now. So I will end it at that. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much. We all know that to get to any point or to get to any level of attainment, there must be hours of tireless work. So we haven't been doing much, or probably we've been doing much, but the administration hasn't been weighing in enough to show what we've been doing in behind the scene. All right, let's move ahead away from the under-20. They just concluded under-20 World Cup in Chile. I want us to look a little bit at the FIFA Women under-17 World Cup currently ongoing, and Nigeria has played 2 matches. First against Canada, and we were defeated 1-0, and 4-1. I beg your pardon. We were defeated 4-1, and we played another game yesterday, and we lost to France 1-0 at the 83rd minute after a whole lot of chances missed by our girls. And now we have picked up the calculator again to start pressing the calculator and said if we are able to win Samayo at least with 5 goals difference, we were able to qualify to the next round as the best third position in the competition. So what do we have to say about this? Does he have to, Mr. Raphael, do we have to always have to pick the calculator to start to pressing calculator concerning our performances in various football competitions?
You do that when others were preparing and you're sleeping, and then when others have gotten the results and they are going to rest, that's when you are awake. You understand me? Just like you see students, there are some students who don't do night reading. They've done their things during the day because the night is for rest. But you see some people tell you we burn the midnight candle. Nobody sent you. When people are working during the day, you are busy maybe doing something else entirely. I wasn't blaming the government. I was making reference to the FA, the NFF itself. I don't think any reasonable individual in any sane community, that's why I was congratulating what's his name that day on the show, the one that resigned over certificate issue, because I say in Nigeria people don't resign. In a place where you've seen all your footballing teams suffer, it means your work is zero, either you like it or not. Remo Stars 5-1 loss to Sundowns falls under the NFF still, by extension. If you want to look at it, it means the footballing whatever in Nigeria is suffering a huge blow. Now we are pressing calculator again to see if what's it called, mind you, Samoa scored 2 against France. Now, I like it or not, maybe they've considered plus or minus 10 goals, so they have minus 8 at the moment. That's no, okay. Samoa minus 8 at the moment. Nigeria has considered 5,
yes,
and scored 1, so we have minus 4. So we are looking for at least 5 goals. And if we can score Samoa the 5 without considering any, and for Samoa, I congratulate them because this is the first time any team from Samoa, be it male or female, is coming out for an international competition. And so when those girls scored, you could see the excitement. Just like when Nigeria played against Tahiti in the Confederation Cup then, and Tahiti scored, we won 6-1, Tahiti scored 1. You could see them cry because it meant a lot. So if these are the people that you are coming to, they say he who is lying down fears no fall. He's already lying down. Somewhere they're just there to enjoy themselves. It's now left for you to see if you can even get that 5 goals. Do you understand me? This now boils down to the fact that are we saying those girls are the best of the best that Nigeria can offer? The guys that played on our 20 World Cup, are they the best of the best that Nigeria can offer? The ones that could not even qualify for the Nations Cup under 17 male, are they the best of the best that Nigeria can offer? Until we begin to ask ourselves these questions. I watched the show one day, and Nigeria played, I think it was when we played Zimbabwe or one other team, and we lost. I think it was Rwanda or thereabouts. And somebody asked Iguavon, why are we still inviting Iheanacho and Sadiq? And I bet you those guys just came back from injury and they had not kicked any ball in their club. They were in the Super Eagles lineup. You know what he answered? He said it would be unfair not to invite them. And the question is, unfair that what happened? So if the guy had one leg, they should still call him, because it would be unfair for you not to call him. So we now begin to have people in the team that have, I don't know, I don't want to use words, because when you begin to use some kind of words now, are this the best that Nigeria can provide? In the under 20, I think it was the captain or so. He played the last under 20 World Cup. He played this one. They say he's still eligible to play for another one. Maybe he was 12 when he played for the first under 20 World Cup, or maybe he has become ageless, that he keeps going, or we cannot find somebody better than him, that we have to keep relying on him, and it's not like he's giving us any results.
The results we desire.
Do you understand? We need to get to a point where we tell ourselves the truth. Go back to the secondary school days. Go back to the university games, where we used to get raw talent from Principal's Cup. Where we used to get raw... This, I'm talking about both male and female. Where we used to get raw talent from university games, Nuga. Now you just see people from... That's why I said the Super Eagles now would suffer, because there's nobody transiting from the younger team to the Super Eagles. We used to have the dream team, the Olympic team. They graduate into the mainframe of the Super Eagles, but we don't have them anymore. Now we are relying on players that countries abroad have worked on, and maybe the country that they are playing for doesn't want them. We'll now start calling them, please come and join us. Gone are the days where people like Amokachi, Yekini, Olise, Ikpeba, Siasia, and co. We are all gotten from our local leagues, and they went out to the world and prove it. At 94, 95, Nigeria was the 5th best team in the world. We've never attained that ranking ever again. Today we are 41. So we need to get to a point where everything is done on merits. Only then can we begin to represent as Giant of Africa.
All right, so we hope to represent as Giant of Africa. Let's move away a little bit from the female football and go to the CAF Awards. I want to let you know that the nominees for the CAF Award 2025 is out, and the likes of Victor Osimhen, Nwabali, and Bameyi are on the list. So let me hear from you, Comrade Abraham Soko. This list that is already out, who do you think it does not merit being on this list? Because we have Young Player of the Year for men, Young Player of the Year for women, and we have like the likes of Bameyi for the Young Player of the Year for men, and a whole lot of others. Let me hear your review on the CAF award list.
Okay, thank you very, very much. I would want to say that if you go by this list, you have to actually examine what you are doing for both club and country, for you to merit for you to merit that nomination, and for you to merit being a winner. And the person on that list I'm not quite comfortable with right now is Nwabali, going with his recent performances and his lack of judgment. I don't think that he has done enough. And I personally have not actually watched him in his club, so I don't know his performances in his club right now. So, but judging by the national team performance, I don't think I merits to be on that list. And having said that, I would want to say that the likes of Ashraf Hakimi, the likes of Osimhen, I think it's actually a good one. And I don't know if Lookman is actually on the list.
No, Lookman is not on the list.
No. So, Lookman is not there. So I think going by Osimhen being on that list, I think it's well deserved. He has been hitting, scoring left, right, and center. We also his performance in our just concluded qualifiers, and we also saw him coming back from injury and scoring again yesterday. So it's a good list generally. So I believe that Hakimi has the most chance of actually being crowned the winner of the player of the year for CAF. So it's a good one. In addition, I just want to just chip in what Mr. Rafe said earlier about this selection process. I think we actually have to do more, and we actually saw it actually played out in our just concluded qualifiers, where Richel picked Aku Adams from Sevilla based on recent form. He actually came and he scored in one of our games. I think that's the way our selection should go henceforth. It should go on recent performances, and that's why I like these Western countries, these European things. They pick based on form. If you are not in good form, you are out. Like for instance, Garnacho is not actually making the selection right now because he has not been playing well recently. So it should be the selection should be based on recent performances. It should be based on form. Thank you very much, Mr. Efka.
All right, thank you so much. Clinton, looking at the nomination list, we see the likes of Osimhen, we see the likes of Salah, and we see the likes of Hakimi. And let me run down a little bit of just a couple of statistics from these three players. Osimhen has 37 goals and 7 assists in 41 matches, and he had two trophies. Salah has 34 goals, 23 assists, 52 matches, and 1 trophy. And Hakimi has 9 goals, 12 assists in 48 matches, and 4 trophies. These three players, they are on the list for the nomination. Have been nominated for the CAF award. Do you think any of the three of them will win, or who else do you? Maybe you are looking at the list and say there's somebody who is supposed to be on this list who is not on this list that you feel that CAF did not recognize, and you want to talk about that person. Let's have your review.
Okay. Based on what you asked, right now, if I may talk about much about these three players here.
Yes, you may. Please.
The man Hakim, have been so phenomenal for 3-4 seasons ago. For him to be nominated, because I was surprised when I saw him. I was looking at maybe other younger ones, at the Africa players. So now I saw him. So looking at what he have here, he have 4 trophies. If I may say something, sometimes once this award is been maybe won by one or two player, or by one player, maybe depending on the country that may end it in. So now, I think the guy might win it this time. Because of I know that they might check statistics, fully, because Salah itself have not been that good, in Liverpool. Osimhen is good, but not that, because if based on what I said I might maybe check from the statistics, as it stands. But if I thought maybe the award will be given to Hakim, I wouldn't be surprised, because the guy have been so good at the right back there, know when to move, know when to score goals, and the other activities have been informed there, for the PSG team. So now I think I will go for the guy if I'm to select the 3. I don't want to be sentimental. I know that Mr. Raphael will say, Mr. Raphael will say something concerning Victor Osimhen. No, Victor Osimhen is good, banging goal in and out, in Turkey, in Nigeria, Super Eagles national team, because I believe that if I thought maybe Osimhen played that match against South Africa, it will be a disaster, you know, to the defense line, you know, of the South Africa, you know, because me, I saw it. I saw the view,
anger.
you know, the anger in him, you know, to score. You know, it is in him that yes, this is our team. Because if you check from the view, you know, about Osimhen, if you can permit me, I want to talk one thing about him. You know, when this guy came out, you know, around 2015, year 2015, after the World Cup, you know, under 17. If you can remember, you know, this guy is somebody that the world, let me use the world criticized him, you know, because you were like asking Emmanuel Amuneke, like, who is this lanky player that you brought, you know, to play this game? You know, that lanky player, who is now? You see, that's football. You know, we need to watch and see what is coming. You know, because this guy have given all, you know, to the Nigerian, you know, national team there in our team. So I think for me, I have to make a conclusion. I have to pick Hakimi. This one. You know, the guy have tried. Let us give him. You know, thank you.
All right, Mr. Raphael.
Yeah.
You know, I think Comrade said he doesn't know what Nwabali is doing on the list. You know, there's also an award for best goalkeeper, and you can't deny the fact that Nwabali has performed up to some
level. I can't deny it.
Aside from the fact that there are some notable errors, they're humans.
Now,
we're sure to make errors.
Is that not the same error that drove Onana from Manchester United?
Yes.
Where he has gone to?
Yes.
If the error were permitted, Man U will not buy another goalkeeper after him, and then buy another goalkeeper, hoping to, because they are trying to reduce that errors to the barest minimum. Because the more you chip in goals, the more your team suffer. Nwabali now, look at the level the goalkeepers that are there. I'm just going to mention 2 goalkeepers. There are 3 goalkeepers. There's Rowan Williams there,
from South
who
Africa,
is still the current goalkeeper, African number 1 goalkeeper. You have Bono from Morocco, a goalkeeper who did not concede a goal all through the qualifiers. And then you have Onana. Maybe Onana just to make up the number. Do you understand me? But if you ask me, this is between Bono and Rowan Williams. As a Nigerian, you say, if what's it called, Nwabali wants to get this trophy, he needs to allow less goals. Rowan Williams was the one that kept for Sundowns when they came to Remo. And see what Sundowns did to Remo. I told somebody, Remo Stars were playing against the South African national team. And then people were shouting, we should invite our own base players for Super Eagles. Half of the Remo team play for the Chan Eagles. And 2 of that same players, or 3 from Remo, have played with the Super Eagles. They played at the Unity Cup. So what are you telling me? So it means we chipped in. Imagine the Super Eagles playing against South Africa and we lost 5-1 at home. Those players will not leave that stadium. They won't leave that stadium. So, Comrade Soko was very correct when he said he doesn't know what he's looking for there, because when you want to look at the best goalkeepers in Africa, I don't think, maybe just to make up the number, let it not be as if he was not picked as one of those. The Senegalese goalkeeper, the Cote d'Ivoire goalkeeper did not concede a single goal through the qualifiers too. Those are people you begin to reckon with. David Raya has won the best goalkeeper in EPL for 2 seasons in a row because he conceded less goals. And he's still counting now. He has kept 11 games and kept 8 clean sheets. Those are the kind of statistics you are putting. You know, my brother was talking about statistics. Those are the kind of things you bring forward. Not one keeper chipping in goals, blah, 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 and then errors every now and then, and you see him understanding. And then to also go a bit with the young player, I saw, what's his name? Bami. The question I want to ask is, what did he do to merit being on that podium? That's what you want to ask yourself. Because if you ask me, you just have to make up the number, because the young guy that just won the Under-20 World Cup with Morocco will eventually win it. Because you cannot win the most valuable player in the World Cup tournament and come to Africa and then they are picking one person over you. And then last but not the least, the players of the tournament. You have Salah, Hakimi, and then of course Victor Osimhen. Yes, I want to be patriotic and say, okay, I would love Osimhen to win it so that it remains in Nigeria. We had Osimhen win it, we had Lookman win it, and then we have Osimhen again. But this time around, statistics. The only trophy that Hakimi did not win was the Club World Cup. And if you check the number of goals and assist contribution that Hakimi made as a right back, is phenomenal. It's out of this world.
Yes.
And then you look at Hakimi again, the contribution both in his country and in his club side is nothing, as in is everything you can think of. You see Hakimi playing and you think he's the striker or he's the midfielder. He's your right back.
Yeah.
And he lost the last time very slimly to Ademola Lookman. And of course, when he lost, the award was held in Morocco. When they announced Ademola Lookman as the winner, he left. The Moroccans in the hall all left.
All stood up and left.
Do you understand? This time around, it's going to be hosted in Morocco still, and the Nations Cup is going to be in Morocco. I think they will not want to let this one go. So I still see Hakimi having won over Salah and Osimhen, but I think the closest person to what's it called, to Hakimi on this one is still Osimhen.
Yeah.
All right, so let's now move away from CAF award nominations and go straight ahead to the matches we watched yesterday and the before yesterday, Tuesday and Wednesday, on the match day 3 of the UEFA Champions League games, and we saw a harvest of goals. We had so many goals from teams. We had teams banging 5-1. We had teams banging another one 5-1, 7-2. PSG and the rest of them. What have you? So want to quickly run down a review on the games played on match day 3 of the UEFA Champions League. And Comrade Soko, let me get your review. You know, your team defeated Ajax with 5-1, 5 goals to 1, and Ajax had one man down in the game. But we saw the only game that few games that we saw no harvest of goal. We saw the game of Atlanta and Para, and we saw the game Monaco and Tottenham, and they all ended goalless draw. I want to hear your view from the games, the match day 3 of the UEFA Champions League.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Ebuka. To be honest, this week features in the Champions League, I think is one of the most routine win for top teams. Mostly if you look at the table, most of the top teams won on Tuesday and on Wednesday. It was really predictable. People that are into sports betting, it's actually a heaven for them now, right now. So what I would want to say is that on Chelsea against Ajax, Chelsea was able to create a record in the sense that for the first time, 3 teenagers scored in a game. McGill, Estavio, McGill is 19, Estavio is 18, and Tyreek George, I think, who is also 18. So it's a record-breaking game for Chelsea. And another review I would want to take from yesterday's game is Arsenal. Okay, I think Arsenal played on Tuesday. Yes, on Tuesday. And it was actually a very good one for them. Winning Atletico Madrid 4 goals to 0 without conceding a goal. It's a really, really huge achievement. And Arsenal, to be honest, Arsenal has been really, really good this season. If you look at their Premier League table, they have conceded just 3 goals. They have gone four matches without conceding a single goal. So Arsenal has been really formidable. And right now, I know it's still in the early stages. They are on course to actually win a treble. So if they continue on this path, I don't think that anybody will be able to match them at this point in time. But as I said, it's still the early stages, and more football will still have to be played. I just believe that what they should do right now is for them to consolidate, because they should learn from last season. Because what happened last season, we actually saw them starting strong, even up to the closing stages of the league. They now fell off. So what they should do is consolidate it in the January window. They should buy 1 or 2 players to show up, because what happened last season, as I said, they struggled with injuries to their major stars and they actually fell off. So they shouldn't make that same mistake right now. So Arsenal is actually a team to reckon with. Congratulations to Mr. Rapper. Congratulations to Arsenal fan. It's actually a good thing. It's a good time to be an Arsenal fan right now. So thank you very much, Mr. Ebuka.
All right, thank you so much, Comrade Ibrahim Suku. Looking at the defending champions, PSG, Paris Saint-Germain, the last match they played against Barcelona, they defeated Barcelona, and now they played against Bayern Leverkusen, and they also defeated Bayern Leverkusen, whooping 7-2. And Raphael, let me hear your view. Do you think PSG will maintain their stand at the end of this season's run?
It's Comrade Soko that doing this thing for. I wanted him to see this, but he has Comrade Soko, can you see this thing? You know, we have this one and we have this one for Gabriel.
I can see it.
It's your time to shine.
You know, PSG plays. They play crazy football. That's what I would say. Their last league game was against Strasbourg. The coach decided to rest some big players and play against Strasbourg. I think that was almost his greatest undoing. At first half, Strasbourg was beating them 3-1. And then in second half, he brought in the usual suspects. And in 2 minutes, it became 3-3. And if they had added extra minutes to that game, they would have won that game. So people can still not explain what happened between PSG and Chelsea. If you ask anybody, when people got to that final, even though I am not a Chelsea fan, I said it that we have all given PSG this game, but
the Club World Cup.
He's not. People like this kind of game is when a team like Chelsea comes and just, you'll be thinking if they went to go and use one superpower somewhere, but they didn't use any superpower. They just discovered one person who was inconsistent. Who will you think is one of the best players in PSG? But for that night, he went missing. That's Mendes. If you check all the goals that Chelsea scored, all of them came from him. He will go forward and forget to return, and before you know, one long ball, boom, one long ball. That goal ended when he stopped moving forward. This team, everybody from the midfield scores. Now let me shock you. Everybody from the right back and left back scores, because if you check the people that scored in their last game that they played, you will see, maybe you find Mendes' name there. Mendes is the left back. We're just finished talking about Hakimi. Hakimi will play a whole season, and as a right back, he's scoring up to 15 goals. When some attackers have not scored 3, and the right back is scoring. So the team is showing you that they are not in the flash in the pan, that they are still in that same place. They are still in that same place where they found themselves last season. So I don't think they would fade anytime soon, especially if they add some more powers come January. But anybody who's going to face PSG, I am God though.
so if PSG is up against Arsenal,
no, we'll change it for them. We'll change it for them. We'll change it for them.
All right. Before we round up, Clinton, let me get your view. You know, the likes of Liverpool Football Club had struggled in the past. Let's say in the past 5 games they've played, both in local league and in the Champions League, they've lost 4 and won only 1. But last night we saw them pull up a stunt against Frankfurt when they defeated Frankfurt 5-1. And also to consider or to look into another English team in the UEFA Champions League, we have Newcastle defeating Benfica 3-0. Let's get your review within these 2 minutes of our time about Newcastle's performance and Liverpool's performance.
Let me talk about Liverpool. For me, I think that the name that Liverpool got, like, we never walk alone, always work for them, you know, because the reason why I use this is because of assuming Liverpool lost that match yesterday, it should have been 72 years, you know, such thing happened to them. Okay, so because for that not to happen, you know, everybody need to come out and, you know, face what the bite might come out of. If you check the match yesterday, Van Dijk score, you know, Kanote score, the 2, 5 and 6, You know, so it was very, very good for them to ask themselves question: Are we going to lose this game again? So they have to come out, face the challenge, you know, and prove why they are Liverpool. Okay, so it was well, congratulations to them. It was a nice one, you know, for them to go into that and get out a good result from there. Though for the form Liverpool is honestly. Even me, that is a Real Madrid fans, I looked up to that. I say, what is happening to Liverpool? You know, looking from Salah is not doing the magic we know him about. You know, look at the guy that they bought from this club. You know, Wits. You know, it was he was so cold. Like he couldn't even come out. You know, to play his game. Though he have not scored, but believing him. You know, like what he can do. You know, as season comes. You know, I see the guy that he come back to his form. You know, for now, but we check up like somebody like Gakpo. He's there. You know, pushing the striking force for Liverpool to score. But this time around, Salah is sitting on the bench for the match. You know, I was like, have you gotten to this stage that the Arne Slot have to keep him on the bench? Though I won't blame him because. As it stands now, he's not in his form, you know, for Liverpool. You know, and Ekitike himself is a nice player. Though I was looking up, you know, the last match against Manchester United for them to do wonders, but you know, this is a game of football. Anything can happen. Either you win, you lose, or you draw. Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Let's move away from UEFA Champions League, and before we go, just take a few picks from the English Premier League for this weekend. So, Raphael, last week we saw Liverpool that struggled at home and lost to the United in a 2-goal 2-1 game against Man United, and now we have them against Brentford on Saturday evening, and Man United will be welcoming Brighton. So let's look at those two games. What do you pick? What's your pick? Do you think Man United is back to their winning ways, and do you think Liverpool also will lose again, lose another EPL game this weekend?
It will shock you to know that Manchester United might face Brighton and still lose. You know, I told someone, I said, when these top teams play each other, no matter how bad they've been doing, they find a way to gather some spirit, because now it is pride at stake, and so they find a way to just grind those results, just like what Manchester United did against Liverpool. But against Brighton, you might be shocked that it will go the other way, but if they get a win, it will be 3 in a row. That's a very long time since Amorim entered. In fact, he has not got even 2, so he just got 2, and everybody's smiling. Then Brentford against Liverpool. Liverpool would want to correct whatever mistake or error that has been bedeviling them these past few weeks, and if they can't do that against Brentford, they should just forget about the league this season.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Raphael. So before we also go, I would like to get your pick, Mr. Clinton, on the Spanish La Liga. You know, we see Real Madrid at the top of the table, followed by Barcelona, just with 2 points gap. And by this weekend, we have a couple of matches lined up for this weekend. But I want you to talk about briefly on the game between Real Madrid and Barcelona, El Clasico, on Sunday, 26th of October at 4:15.
It's a big one. You know, that's my team, Real Madrid, CF. You know, the big club, one of the biggest club in the world. We all know that, no doubt. So talking about the El Clasico,
hope you know they've been grinding results recently after Atletico.
Allow me to talk.
No, I just need to remind you, after all these accolades they wear for their neck.
I understand where you're coming from. Okay, let me finish. So what I'm talking about now is though it's not going to be easy for them. You know, this game is a game that everybody loves to watch. You know, the world love to watch. You know, is a big one from them. They are at the Bernabeu. You know, it's where looking from the range. I'm seeing it this time. I know that Madrid might win I didn't say we might.
So that we don't hold you by your word.
Are you also saying that because Barcelona is owing about what I think
131 million pounds?
Yes,
Yeah, they need to pay
without
121.
without weigh them down from performing at par against Real Madrid.
For me, before I answer that, let me tell you that Barcelona have injury players. Let's not forget. So now, if I thought maybe I saw Rafinha the other day, he was training, which I believe that he might play the game. So if I may talk more on that game, I think that we might win.
All right. Thank you so much. That's your own prediction for the games, comrade. Before we go, I would like to also get your view on France League One. We see the like of PSG, who last season won almost all the competition in the French league. Also won the UEFA Champions League, but currently they are sitting just below Marseille. And they have a match this weekend, and their match is against Brest. Do you think they will, come back to their winning ways? Last just few days ago, we saw them against in the Champions League and how they played so well in the Champions League. Do you think that they will perform well to maybe cover up the points? It's just a point different from the person who is on the top, Marseille. Olympique Marseille is first on the league with 18 points. Do you think PSG will win their game against Brest? They are going away to play Brest by this weekend.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Ebuka. What I would want to say is that the reason why Marseille is actually topping that league is that a couple of weeks ago, Marseille and PSG played, and Marseille happened to be the winner of that particular game. And that was the first time that PSG was actually losing the match for a long time. You understand? So, as Mr. Rafi rightly said in the studio some couple of minutes ago, when PSG is in their element, when they are in their form, I don't think that anybody can actually match them. The reason why Marseille won that particular game was that they had a couple of stars missing. Their top stars were missing at that particular game due to injury. And I think it was almost the same weekend that we had the Ballon d'Or. So Dembele was also not available. So the truth is, I don't think that Marseille will be able to sustain this momentum going forward. The gap right now is not really insurmountable, just 1 point as you mentioned. So I think I still see PSG actually going back to their element and winning the French league for the umpteenth time. So I don't think PSG is a match for Marseille at this point in time. But having said that, Marseille is actually doing something really good. Greenwood shooting in all cylinders. The particular game, he only got 4 goals. So I think Marseille is playing really good football. Their coach, Sebi, is doing a very good job. He was the former manager of Brighton. So having said that, I don't think that Marseille will still be a match for PSG. Thank you very much, Mr. Ibuka.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen, for your analysis this morning. Thank you, Comrade Abraham Soko, for joining us all the way from Delta State. We hope to have you more again in subsequent editions of the show. And also, thank you to our first timer on the set this morning, Clinton Christopher. Thank you for being on the show this morning. Our regular person, our main man, the Arsenal, the gunner, the new the new superstar in the studio. We want to thank you also for being part of this show, Mr. Raphael Ojaokomo, and we want to also pray that we'll see more of you here in the studio. And I am Ike Chukwebuka, and until we meet again on this same airwave, stay passionate, stay positive, and keep the spirit of the game alive. Goodbye.